Welcome to the DLLS Rangers Weekly Podcast, now part of the All City Network. Hit the subscribe button for YouTube and also become a DLLS diehard at www.alldlls.com. Now here's Jeff and John. Hey everybody, welcome to the DLLS Rangers Weekly Podcast. This is episode number 25, and today, Texas Rangers prospect Paul Bonzagni is going to join us, local kid. And hey, all of this is brought to you by the Round Rock Express, AAA affiliate for the Texas Rangers, who, by the way, always take care of us.
Yeah, we love those guys. So they're 25th anniversary season. They're on their opening home stand right now against Oklahoma City, which they picked up a name, Oklahoma City. They're now the Comets.
Yeah, they've always been the Dodgers, but now they're the Comets. Okay. Well, they were the Oklahoma City
89ers.
89ers back in the old days, and then they were the Redbirds. Redhawks, not the Redbirds. That was Memphis.
Thanks to Chris and Tim and Laura and all the group down there. And they're back for another season, and we can't thank them enough. And there's a lot of good stuff to talk about with them, but
we'll head down there at some point, probably, and try to do a.
And we'll get we'll plan it in advance so we can have a cocktail after the game with them again.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, hit that subscribe button down below. We hit the subscribe, hit the likes if you like this. Obviously, go over to DLLS Sports. Hit it over there. You can get all your coverage, local coverage for your sports teams. You got the Mavericks, the Stars, the Cowboys, obviously the Rangers with Jeff and John, who do a daily show. Off today, though.
Off today, yeah. Yep. We're probably going to be at 1:00 when the Rangers are home and noon when they're on the road. Now that's not set in stone yet, but that's the way it's looking right now.
There's 4 shows that go on a day because every day, guys, there's a Stars show, there's a Maverick show, there's a Cowboy show, and a Ranger show. I say every day. Monday through Friday, usually there are days sprinkled in where there's off.
In season, you can count on a show every day. But
absolutely. Yeah. It's fantastic. And if you're not a part of that, you need to subscribe to that. Also, you need to go become a diehard and get, because beat writers, there's beat writers that cover every team that are your favorite beat writers, including our own Jeff Wilson,
Especially.
But we're here to talk about the Texas Rangers. That's who we cover. And so we're going to look, they're going into the weekend. They're in Seattle. It's Jacob deGrom Day.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity here if you like starting pitching, and deGrom, Rocker, Evaldi, and then the other team, the Mariners, shoot, their rotation is great. Miller, Wu, and Logan Gilbert, who always shoves it up the Rangers' butts at ballpark. So Sunday, not a lot of runs are going to be scored by either team. So anyway, but John, we're 13 games in,
9-4,
first place, 9-4.
Yeah. They got that last game for the Cubs. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it's cold weather or what. That just looked miserable though.
Yeah. Monday's game, it just seemed like nobody wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And I really thought that the elements affected Evaldi. It's like he's blowing on his hand after every pitch and trying to rub the ball and get a feel for it. I mean, he hit 2 guys, which he doesn't do. He walked 2 guys. He hadn't walked anybody else.
He had 2 strikes on whoever. He hit the one and
with a splitter.
Yeah, and you could tell. I mean, if they'd had a close up, there were probably expletives that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, he
did not like that he hit him. I forget who it was at the point, but yeah, he was not. Yeah, that's not the native Evaldi we know. And I think Weatherhead, you've got to be able to grip the ball and and do what you can to make that ball do what you want. And I can't imagine, because it was in the 30s, wasn't it? Or right around,
felt like it was in the 20s. I mean, it was just miserable.
Gotta be.
And then the game Tuesday, it was cold and they gave that one away kind of with some errors and some plays that didn't get made. Really, that was their first sloppy game of the season.
The second game, absolutely.
Yeah. But you look at the rotation. The rotation's been pretty good. And then
Malley, good Lord, that's 2 good starts.
After his bad start, he came back with 2 good ones, and then even Patrick Corbin was okay the other night.
You know what? For that situation, because he didn't throw a spring training game, right? He did it through. So he was supposed to go to. He accepted an assignment to AAA to get ready. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take it," because he knew he needed to get some innings in and do that. I'm sorry, hats off. That was not bad at all for coming in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, he'd thrown 2 simulated games, basically.
Exactly. And
one was in Arizona on a high school field.
Well, it shows you why he's a big leaguer. He goes in, he works around what he can do, and I think you can't do nothing but he kept him in the game.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
You've got to take your hat off. And luckily, the Rangers have some depth, and they did that. Hey, there's a couple of guys throwing at AAA that are not. Buchanan has had a couple good starts down there. Who's the other one
well, Hauser pitched well. He's pitched well twice. And then, Bosley, who's with the big league team, has been pretty good.
Yeah, they got moved up. But, absolutely. Bosley, I said Bushley. I said that.
Everybody does. I mean, it's like, Bonzagni.
Bonzagni, yeah.
It's pronounced several different ways by a lot of people. He's said to us. So anyway, they're going to get better too. John Gray's going to come back. Cody Bradford's going to come back,
and the offense is going to come back.
And the offense looks like with 6 runs in consecutive games is going to be a little bit.
Well, Corey Seager's broke out kind of yesterday. A couple of home runs. One of them was
Wednesday. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Wednesday. One of them was kind of wind dated. I think one of them they said would be a home run in one ballpark and one ballpark only. And that was
right.
Chicago. I think, but he's hitting the ball hard again. He's raised his average going. And look, I know the Marcus Semien yelling that you're seeing on Twitter and everything else. That guy puts together great at bats every time. He's nailed some balls right on the money, right at people.
Yes.
But look at the back of the baseball card. He had a down year last year. I understand that. I'm sorry. He's in this lineup one way or the other. Maybe do you look at leading off somebody else? He's not going to do it now. Not while they're winning. He's not going to change it, do you think?
Well, I mean, it's 13 games. So you figure they're at, I don't know, 60 at bats max.
Yeah.
Probably not even that many. So, you need 100 at bats. That's the Ron Washington rule. And I live by it. 100 at bats to know who you are and what you got. And so he's more than halfway there. But, who's going to lead off? Well, Josh Smith. Well, do you want to go lefty so that when the rotation flips late in the game, you can just bring in a left-hander to face the 1-2. And it just, there are a lot of ways to look at this. And I think that, the Rangers are open to moving Marcus Semien out. They did it a little bit last year, and Bruce Bochy talked about it in the offseason. But I think the guy that they want to be the leadoff hitter is currently hitting like 100 at AAA.
Yeah, is he gotten it up to 100? He was
he hit a home run last night.
Yeah, pinch hit home run.
Yeah, so
I still have faith in Evan Carter. I think Evan Carter will figure this out.
Well, of course he will, but it's just not going to happen overnight. And
no.
I think when we talk to him,
and don't bring him up till he's ready.
When we talked to him after he had been optioned that Tuesday, he was like, "Well, I'm going to go down there and make it. As soon as the first day you can bring back a player, make sure it's going to be me." I don't know that that's the right approach. He needed to. And maybe he has since kind of embraced that, hey, it's okay being here. There's nothing wrong with it. It's for the betterment of my career. And if it takes time, it takes time. It doesn't need to be a rush job because you want it to be a sustained thing.
Absolutely.
You don't want to cram. It's not like cramming for a test, and then forgetting everything. You want to be able to hang on to it. And the pitching is going to get better when he does get to the major leagues. That's the thing. It's going to get harder again. He needs to have the foundation in place, and the ultimate foundation is in place. He's so good at strike zone judgment, and he is getting his walks down there
every game. Yeah,
and so that's a great starting point. It's just now the body's got to get synced up, and the swing's got to work. And maybe the home run, I didn't see it. Maybe that's a sign for him. Maybe it
was a changeup.
Maybe the 3-walk game the other day. And of course, he got hit in the hand on Tuesday.
That didn't turn out to be much.
Played Wednesday, didn't play yesterday, but was able to hit the home run. So, but
the process is
to
there.
Be a race. It doesn't need to be a race. A major league season's a marathon. There's still plenty of time for him to get up and impact the team, but there's no need to bring him up
until he's ready.
Absolutely.
And that you know what, Evan, you got to force the issue. Just get where you're supposed to be. This team knows what you can do. Jeff and I haven't lost faith in you. We know what you can do. You get in there and do your stuff, and then you force the issue. And then they need to get him up here because, hey, they can't ignore it any longer. That kind of the way Blaine Krim. Have you seen what Krim's done and Hatcher? at Double A. Of course, these are guys that aren't top 30 prospects. These are guys that have just been in. They hit at every level. Krim is killing the ball.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting for all of us Blaine Krim fans out there to see what he's doing. And the Rangers keep saying and have said he's a major league hitter. What they don't necessarily say is it just may not be with the Rangers. They have Jake Berger at first base, and that's their long-term solution there. And he's off to a slow start, but again, it's too early to start making changes to the lineup. And this isn't a 60-game season like you might see in the Dominican Summer in a winter league where these guys, if you don't hit, you're gone.
Right.
This is 162 games, and these are guys that the Rangers have scouted or developed or signed to big deals, and they're going to get their opportunities. And again, if the Rangers thought that they had better answers in the minor leagues, they wouldn't have acquired these guys or signed these guys. So
exactly,
stick with them. I know it's hard. It's not going to, this weekend, there are not going to be a lot of runs just because of where they're playing and who they're playing against. So
we say that
also recognize that. I mean, look at the schedule the Rangers have played.
Yeah.
Red Sox good. Reds
supposed to be. I mean,
they face Hunter Green, who's just phenomenal.
Yes.
And then the Rays, who
always
are always a good team.
Always.
The Cubs, who are in first place. So, it's a tough schedule. The Mariners are taking in the chin right now. They have some big injuries and everything, and a couple of their pitchers haven't quite found their strides yet, but they're going to pitch well. Then you come home to the Angels, who are all of a sudden 8-4, the little 5 Washingtons, and then you play the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers come in next weekend.
And then you go on the road to Oakland, which seems to be a bit of adventure. And then you play
Oakland
the Giants.
Oakland could be the worst team in all of baseball, and they'll take 2 or 3 from the Rangers. That's just, it seems like it's always that way.
And that ballpark seems, it was people who were saying it was a hitter's park, and or not a hitter's park, a pitcher's park, and it's definitely not playing out that way. And I don't know. I mean, I remember scores, seeing the AAA team scores. It's like 10-6. Like, that's not very.
Sacramento, right? That's where they're at in Sacramento.
It's hot.
Well,
it will get hot, and I think it's a hitter's park, and it. Anyway,
one of the things that you've got to be excited about as a Ranger fan is, for the first time in a long time, you see the potential of what this rotation is. We've seen Jack Leiter, who's obviously with the finger. He's probably coming back. He'll probably be ready to come back as soon as the 15 days are up. Kumar, who struggled his first outing, comes back, shows you what he can do. Mahle, what he's doing. Then you look at Eovaldi, who's obviously Eovaldi, take out the one cold game where it's coming there. DeGrom. He didn't have the greatest game the other night, but he still goes out there and gets into the the 7th before he ended up getting out of there. I mean, and the heart. Who is he hardest on? He's hardest on himself. DeGrom's going to give himself more crap than anything. I'm anxious. I bet tonight he's good. I mean, he makes adjustments on the fly, and he always corrects what his mistakes are. But you've got to be that is a playoff rotation, and you're not even talking about John Gray or Cody Bradford on the IL. And then look who's going to be out of the lineup. Langford. Now, this obviously isn't a big deal. It seems like it's not. He just I think the cold had something to do with it. He felt something, got tight. They just didn't want to screw with it and said, you know what, sit it out. 10 days, you can do that. And if there is an injury, he can come back early, right? If there's an injury to somebody else.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Langford.
No, he has to stay on the injured list
for 10 days. So he can't come back if there's another injury.
No.
Okay. All right. I thought it. Okay. There's the different rules. Oh, I guess if you're optioned, you can come back. Okay.
Yeah.
So he'll be. Do you think he probably won't even do a rehab? Probably just do some.
I'm probably not. He said that he could come back for the 19th, which is the second game against the Dodgers. But he said he's aiming for the start of the next road trip, the 22nd at Oakland. And there's nothing wrong with taking a little time. It doesn't have to be 10 days.
Sure.
And as the story goes, he had felt something last week when he woke up and it went away. And then I think the cold probably had
probably
something to
cold
do with
weather.
it.
Just it wasn't an oblique. He obviously said he didn't feel anything like he did with the oblique during spring training. He just felt a little tight over there on that side.
Technically, it's an oblique strain on the other side.
Right.
This is the right. Spring training was left, but just why mess with it? If you expect this guy to hit 30 home runs, he can still do that in 140 games as opposed to 147 or whatever it is. I'm not too worried about that one. And really, I'm looking forward. Hopefully, Dustin Harris
get a couple
against all these right-handers. We'll get some chances. Kevin Pillar, a veteran guy who may end up being there every day. And now you do have a place with
for Josh Smith
back to get Josh Smith in the lineup regularly. So there are ways to go about this and conquer it and keep your best hitters. And Josh Smith is probably one of the Rangers' best hitters. Keep him going. So I like the. I'm not too worried about this one. I'm really not. The Langford injury.
No, it's in this early in the season too. It's every precaution. There's not even a point in it, and doing that. I tell you what, it's been they've been. If the offense ever gets clicking, which they will, we all know they will, and all of that. I think the offense getting clicking opens up everybody. You look at Simeon at the top of that order. Eventually, if the others in the lineup start hitting, then you have to pitch to the guy that eventually you have to come over the plate to the guy who's struggling, and that's when that gets things going. Berger's another one. Berger's had some bad luck too. He's hit some balls hard right at people, over there at first base. I still think that's going to come back. But the offense, to be sitting here at 9-4 with the offense, because the offense was number 30 in the league, I think, or something. They were 30.
There's 30 teams, so you don't want to be.
You can't be more than 30. They weren't 32 or anything.
You don't want to be 30 there, and they might have been 32. I mean, to be honest, it was pretty bad, but that's not gonna stay. That's gonna change, and you can't collectively have 9 guys in a slump at the same time. It's just so rare. And just like you don't have 9 guys that are on a heater the whole at the same time.
Exactly.
But there's enough depth in the lineup, and the bottom of the order's been productive.
Yes.
With Heim and Higashioka and Tavares, who's gotten some big hits.
Smith,
Millar and Smith down there at the bottom of the order. So
Young comes back, and
you expect that these guys at the top of the lineup have the more extensive track records of success, or it's these guys at the bottom that you got to wonder about. And if they're good, if this lineup, bottom of the lineup hits like it did in 23 and flips the lineup for Simeon, Seager, Langford, what is it, Dulles batting fourth,
right?
So and maybe that changes. I don't know, but
Peterson struggled too.
Oh, Peterson's been batting fourth. Yeah, that's been the worst one of all.
Yeah, that's been brutal. And that's another guy too. You think? I mean, look what he did in the spring, and of course, I guess the pitchers were still catching up in spring and doing that. But I have faith in Peterson. He's always a threat in that lineup. He's another one that's going to benefit off other guys getting hot, because eventually, when the lineup's that deep, you have to come over. You can't afford to walk anybody, and he'll take a walk. And you just eventually got to come over the plate, and eventually you start barreling stuff, and that gets you out of whatever the funk you're in. And doing that. But I've heard this said, you can't win a division at the start of the year, but you can lose it. And when you start out and don't win, what is it? The Braves that have struggled coming out of the bat.
They're 3-9, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you can certainly, when you have to play catch up all of a sudden starting at the beginning, but the Rangers hanging in there and staying ahead, their first place, not playing at their best. Pitching's what carrying them. The bullpen's been good.
Very, very good.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it gets sometimes when Luke gets in there, it gets looks a little, but he finishes it off every time and does his job. Chris Martin's been fantastic.
Yep.
Mark Church has done well. He gets a little bit in front of himself. I think it's just being young, being a big leaguer, and the adrenaline.
Yeah.
That guy's got the stuff. And then the rest of the guy, I mean, you can't say enough about Jacob Webb. Holby Milner's been been amazing. I mean, the whole bullpen, you can't really look down there and go, well, this guy, oh God, here it comes. Armstrong's been good. I mean, good Lord.
Garabito's no longer in the majors, but
yes,
he
did him a service though.
The one time he pitched in a leverage situation, he pitched great.
Yeah,
and then the other times it was like, all right, go out there and
go take the punishment for us.
Go out there and bend over. Yeah. So and that's fine, and he'll be back probably. He's an option. Yeah. I mean, if he's been on the 40-man roster this long, I think that's
they're not giving up
on
the
biggest mysteries in baseball is how Garabito stayed on the 40-man roster the entire offseason, and
they see it
now. They see something.
They see it.
I don't know that
Josh Sports did that.
Okay, I think that the Rangers could get Garabito through waivers. I really don't know that there's a lot of teams out there saying, we got to have this guy."
Right.
So anyway, that's just me. But now Bosley is up, and now that it's the 11th, you can start recalling pitchers who are on assignment. So now guys on the who are on the 40-man come into play. Cole Winn, Teodo comes into play.
Yeah.
Daniel Robert. I'm probably forgetting a couple guys, but now
there might be some flights back and forth.
Now that they're there, there's an opportunity to really start going and getting arms and stuff like that.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
and doing and so they have to wait for 10. What is it? When the season starts, you take your assignment to AAA.
You got to wait 15 days.
You got to wait 15 days, and now they can. Okay, unless an
injury.
Okay, yes. Unless an injury. See, I learn this as we go, guys. I'm learning with you sometimes. All right, guys. So, what do you think we want to do from here? Are we ready to get Paul on here?
Yes. Let's go get Paul.
All right, guys. Right after this, Texas Ranger prospect Paul Bonzagni. All right, guys, and joining us right now is Texas Rangers prospect Paul Bonzagni. He's in Wilmington where the Hub City Spartanburgers are playing. Actually, Paul, you pitched last night, had a pretty good outing. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Happy to have the opportunity to speak with you all. Just cool opportunities out here.
Yeah, I have a Hub City hat, and I didn't wear it today because the Masters is going on. Just I don't know, a couple hours away from where you are probably right now, and there's nothing better than the Masters. And actually going to the Masters, I went to a practice round a couple years ago, and it's a life-changing event. All right, I know you're busy with baseball right now, but when you get the chance to go to the Masters, you have to do it. Okay, I don't care if you like golf or not, you got to go.
Hey, I've always wanted to. I'm a big golf fan, so.
All right, do you play at all? I'm kind of taking John's thunder from him, but you play?
Occasionally, I try to go play. I play with a couple of the guys over spring training. I can't say I'm any good, but
yeah,
I have my moments. I'll hit the ball good, and it makes me want to come back.
Yeah, just like all of us. Just like all of us. Yeah. Okay. So you pitched last night. You pitched well. You guys ended up going to extra innings and losing. But what you've thrown 8 2/3 innings, pretty good ball. How are you feeling so far to start the season?
Feeling good. I mean, a couple of uncontrollables throughout the first 2 outings. Just a couple soft contact hits, but I'm getting my strikeouts, which that was the goal this year, trying to prove that I can get the punch out now instead of just constantly getting the ground ball over and over again, which I won't complain about the ground ball, but
right.
We're feeling good, happy with where we're at. Sliders getting back to what it needs to be, so good with where we're at. So yeah.
Okay, so how did that become a focus in the offseason? How have you improved getting punch outs? Because looking at your numbers, it didn't seem like an issue last year necessarily, but what was the impetus for making it better, and how did you make it better?
So last year at the beginning of the season, I was like, I came in, I was getting like 1 punch out a game. So my thought in the off season was like, I got to come in, I have to have my stuff, I got to know my identity to where I'm going to throw my sinker at the bottom of the zone, and then I have to land my slider before I start throwing it outside of the zone to get swing and miss and generate the bad swing. So the adjustment was I was landing it, throwing it middle, throwing the slider middle, making sure I execute, and then expanding afterwards. So
Yeah, who helps with that? Who helps you identify that in the organization and gets
It's
you to
it's all the pitching coaches pretty much. It's been the from the higher ups. They've told me it's like, oh, you need to land it here, and then it goes down to the pitching coaches, and the pitching coaches are telling me, oh, if you change your sights here, work on this, and then land it on the outer half, you're gonna be good to go. And it's just the same thing from every single person. It just kind of falls
yeah,
down the waterfall.
yeah, I got you. So all right, so sinker slider. You working on anything else?
I've been working on a changeup. It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's the velo change is good, but I've thrown it a couple times this season. I've had good results with it. Just mainly same results as the sinker. It's just the ground out. But and then the four seam up's still there, but it's used few and far between. So
I don't know, just keep them honest, right? Have you experimented with the split finger? Because it seems like everybody in the Rangers organization at one time or another now has at least tried it.
I actually tried it last year, so I have experimented.
Okay, and it didn't go well, it seems like.
It went well, like the shape was there. It's just every single time I think I hit the plate with it, so I could not throw it for a strike. So we kind of
Yeah.
had to bang it.
Well, it's crazy because and maybe it's more prevalent across baseball now too. But Evaldi joined the team in 23, and next thing you know, everybody's trying it. And of course, his is one of the best in the game, and he has giant hands. He's a kind of a normal sized guy, and then like he has these like
Yeah, those
giant,
arms.
long, giant arms.
Yeah, they're
Like,
long
like
arms.
he's like not put together right, almost. And he has the hands. It's like you shake his hand and it just swallows your hand up. So it makes sense
Right.
that he can throw it. But like Mark Church is trying one now. There are a lot of guys who are trying it. Um, well, at least it's there. Maybe
Maybe one day.
maybe one day. All right.
I'll go back to
So
it eventually.
yeah, it seems like this is kind of following a pattern, though. What you're talking about, it seems like the Rangers kind of like right out of the bat say, "Do what you do best," and then maybe sprinkle something in, like Rosario last year when we talked to him. He was like, "Yeah, fastball, and split. There's another split, right?"
Hmm.
And then he started mixing in the slider. It seems like you had a good foundation laid last year. Even if you weren't getting the results you wanted, you at least had something to build from.
Hmm. They do a good job of making sure they hammer it into our heads. Like beginning of the spring training, it's right off the rip. Oh, you do this best. You're going to throw this, and then, like you said, we're going to build off of it afterwards. So
Yeah. Hey, it's working, right? I mean,
yeah.
it's not just you. There are a lot of guys in the organization who are kicking butt and taking names. So talk. I mean, a lot of these guys are your teammates most of last year. How much does that help? Being able to like say, "Hey, you know me, I know you."
I mean, my one guy that I go to all the time is DJ McCarty.
Yeah,
Very similar pitch mix to me, and it's very similar sinkers. So we're like, oh, that one was really bad. And it's like, oh, what did you do see from the side of like we'll watch each other's bullpens. I
sure.
mean, so I'll throw a bad sinker. It goes like, oh, you got on the side of that instead of actually getting out with it. And then it's kind of like a back and forth. I'll go watch his bullpen, and he's the one guy because I'll trust some other guys, but DJ's just same mix, same exact shapes. It's
Yeah,
pretty easy to talk to him with it.
yeah. What you got Dava Leo and Jose Gonzalez and some guys that you were with last year. It
Mhm.
seems like last year might have been, I don't want to say frustrating, but it seemed like you all deserved to be promoted a lot earlier than you were. But what's it like to pitch in a group like that? Guys that just seem to have a ton of promise.
It's it honestly motivates you even more. I mean, seeing guys like, especially Davalio, where he goes out and he's going to go out there and get about 4 or 5 innings. He's not going to let up many hits. Same thing with Gonzo. Gonzo's going to get his ground outs, and I mean, it's just electric to watch, and it's fun to watch. It makes the game more exciting. And then obviously it motivates you, like I said before, and makes you
Yeah,
want to do it for the team.
yeah. It's pretty. I've covered the team for 18 years, so trying to go back to the first time Mike Maddox was around, and we all know who his brother is, but Mike had a hell of a career too. But like it's changing speeds, and he loves sinkers. He likes strike throwers, and he really used to be a big sinker guy. And then it seemed like the sinker kind of went out of fashion
Mm-hmm.
with the analytics. And I remember Darvish's sinker. Guys just were taking it deep there for a while, but it seems like it's back again. Well, how did you settle on that over the four seamer?
So it was actually after my Tommy John in high school. I went into my junior college and we realized that my four seam was literally just sinking.
Uh
So
huh.
we took the route and we tried to find like a two seam grip and it ended up just sinking more. So just found that it was the most effective pitch for me. Granted, it took a while to get
Yeah.
in tune and fine tune it and get it to where it is now, but it was just kind of arm path and it just happened to work that way.
Okay. Who did your Tommy John?
Meister.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hey, we're
He's a
well,
local kid.
you've come full
Hey,
circle.
yeah.
All right. Hey, there you go. What gosh, how old were you when you had it?
It was 18. I was 18.
Okay. So what happened your senior year of high school there at Southlake? What'd you Carroll?
I mean, I threw one out in, and then
Watch the rest of the
COVID
way.
hit. Yeah, well, COVID hit, and
Oh, okay.
there was
Okay.
just couldn't do anything.
So you threw the one outing, and so was that when you were injured? When did?
So I want to say I was ramping up because the summer ball kind of circuit opened back up, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember, but
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
think it
was
was
long.
starting to try to get there. Yeah.
So we were getting close, like 2 or 3 weeks out, and I was long tossing. I never had a pop or anything, and I just kind of threw. It was like, dang, it's a little sore.
Yeah.
Didn't throw for 2 weeks. I got told from another person, it was like, oh, you have inflammation in your arm, and I didn't throw. I was like, okay, I'll be fine in 2 weeks. Throw again, still hurts. Go to the guy again. He goes, oh, you need to sit for another 2 weeks, and I kind of sat on it for 3, 4, 5 weeks almost. Finally
Okay.
went to Meister, and he goes, oh yeah, you got a little tear there. We're going to go take care of that. Luckily, the voluntary surgeries were back in play at that time. So
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Well, and he's like the best in the world now. I mean, it's
Oh,
him and
yeah.
the Dodgers guy, Elatrache Neil,
Mm.
and I'll just call him Neil. Tell it. Kind of have to ask him how to say his last name like we did you, but um, um, so then from there, and maybe I'm kind of cutting on John's turf here.
What are you doing?
Did you have it? Had you already like signed with Weatherford Junior College?
At that point, yes. I
Okay.
was before that. It was I decommitted right before it happened, and then committed, and then I tore it like 3 days later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're trying to put the path together here, but that's John's job.
Yeah.
I just talk about the hardball
Oh,
stuff.
no. You just keep doing it. Just go
Yeah.
where you need to go.
So what? We're only two starts in here, or two outings in. I guess you guys are taking turns relieving and starting. If what is it too early to have goals? Do you want? I mean, you know where the Double A team is, right? I mean,
Mm.
it's right up the street from where you grew up. Yeah, or are you just a guy who wants to be where his feet are and not look too far ahead?
I like to mix both. I like to have my goals.
Sure.
I mean, obviously everybody's goal is to make the big leagues, which I'm not going to put that out of the picture. I'd like to throw well enough to where show that I deserve the opportunity to be up there and earn the opportunity. But
Yeah.
this year, I'm just kind of feet where my feet are. If I have the opportunity to go up, it's a blessing, and I'm going to take advantage of it and just keep shoving.
All right. Okay. So now the long-awaited John Moore portion of the show, when we get to know you and a little bit more about your story. So, John.
Okay. Let me see what else I've got here. No, Paul, so you grew up here in the Metroplex. Were you a Ranger fan growing up?
Yes, I was. Or
Did
just thrown out into the bleachers in the 100-degree heat. I know it too well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go to South Lake Carroll. Now, you played baseball, obviously. Did you play any other sports when you were growing up around here?
I played basketball into my freshman year of high school.
That was it. No football at South Lake. That's a big thing there.
I was too small, too small.
Really? Wow. You're 6'3". Did you not grow till a certain?
I was like freshman year 5'3". I didn't grow to 6 foot until the end of my senior year.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Oh yeah, it
It's
was
kind of
out of
what I
nowhere.
did. Of course, I didn't reach 6 foot,
Yeah,
but
you didn't read 5'6", did
I
you?
was 5 foot going into high school, but then I spurted up there the first couple of years. Okay, so you go to Weatherford College. Now that's where you had committed. Obviously, you come the injury coming into your senior year. Were you being recruited by anybody else? Did you have any 4-year schools looking at you?
By after like the end of the fall, I had a couple. I had like Texas Tech, OU, and TCU reach out at one point because I was playing on that Blue Jay scout team in the summer. Well, in the
Okay.
fall, like leading up to that, and I pitched pretty well, and they started giving me calls, but I didn't really know what to do with it at that point.
What was your velo in high school?
Um, Going into my senior year, I was 88, and then like third week of the fall, I hit 93 out of nowhere and sat around 89 to 91.
Okay.
Okay, that's great in high school. I mean, good Lord, you're still developing all of that. So let me ask you this. You go to Weatherford. How many years did you stay at Weatherford? Were you just there a year?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. Weatherford, known big for baseball out there at Weatherford College.
Mhm.
So coming out of Weatherford, did you go to Southern Illinois? That's where you end up getting drafted at. Did anybody there after Weatherford? Did you have any other schools coming at you?
No, I did not. I really only had like SIU was the biggest one, and then like here or there, a couple other mid majors, not really giving me as much interest like SIU was.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well,
anyway, Weatherford College, Jake Arrieta, Cy Young Award winner, who
oh
ended up
yeah.
at TCU.
Weatherford College is
I've known Jake a long time. I covered TCU before I covered the Rangers. I've known Jake since he was a sophomore at TCU, and
there's a lot of Metroplex kids too that
yeah,
are really good that maybe don't quite. They go to Weatherford College is good.
it's
I'm telling you.
it's pretty crazy how Jake changed over the years. He's always been a big guy, but he really got into the fitness and I saw him as a I don't know like a junior, and then I started covering the Rangers. Then he got drafted, and anyway, I saw him in Baltimore when he was with the Orioles, and it was Jake Arrieta, but like his body had transformed completely. He was like a machine all of a sudden. He was kind of
Mhm.
this big thick guy at Weatherford, and now he was this lean guy, and
In shape.
even the Orioles, those weren't his best years. I mean, obviously, he went to the Cubs and won a Cy Young, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's my Weatherford College story.
Yeah.
Right.
But okay, so you go to Southern Illinois. Now at what point at Southern Illinois did you start to think, you know what, I've got some scouts looking at me. I think I have a chance to get drafted.
It was the fall. I had all those Zoom meetings that they do with like the area scouts. I was like, man, got like 17 of them in the fall, and I'm sitting there every single morning like, oh, I don't really know what to do. I mean, I had my agent at that time. I was talking to him. He was like, yeah, you got a shot, but don't really think about it too much. But once after the fall, and then we go into the springtime is whenever it kind of just picked up even more. And it mainly just called my agent. I didn't really hear much about it, but he would just tell me, it was like, yeah, you got a good chance. Just don't worry about it. You'll be good.
Okay, so you're taken in the 12th round by the Rangers, coming in 2023. So there's a lot of those guys that end up going wherever the draft is. They're usually the top of the draft. You weren't one of those guys. So tell me, where were you at? How do you find out that you've been drafted?
I was at my house with my family. I was watching a
Back here in
little,
Texas.
yeah, right in Grapevine.
Yeah.
And I was watching TV, and I was sitting with my older sister on the couch, and she could back me up on this. I sat there. I was like, man, I don't want to watch this. I was like, it's making me nervous just looking at it. I turned it off, and then 2 minutes later, I get a call from my agent, and he goes, hey, listen to this. And then they said my name. It was like so surreal once it hit. It was like, oh, it was the Rangers. I was like, whoa, this is weird. Did not expect this to happen. And then after that, I mean, my phone blew up from all my buddies from back home. They're like, "Man, you're gonna be right here. This is gonna be sick."
Hey, who was the first person in the Rangers organization that gave you a call?
Mike Medici. I can't
Yeah,
say his last
Mike
name.
Medici. Yeah.
Medici.
Medicine.
Yeah.
Okay. That
But I mean, there's 30 teams. All right. So the chances of you getting selected by the team you grew up watching and
yeah.
sweating for, literally, uh, like you say, weird. But I mean, we're like, good night. I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah. That would be cool. I tell you what, that would be pretty cool to do. All right, so let's get into some other stuff here. So you played baseball, obviously. What are some things you do outside of baseball? Are you a video game guy? You said you played a little bit of golf. Do you hunt, fish? What do you do outside of baseball?
I mean, I play video games. It's the best thing to take your mind off of it, to be honest with you, because I mean, I try not to get mad at baseball, so I take it out on all the video games and golf as well. I'm gonna add that in, but I mean, it's mainly just those two things. I occasionally go fish, but kind of just keep to myself, relax as much as I can.
What video games? I've got a 12-year-old, and so
I've got a 18-year-old that plays them.
I might have an idea here.
I played, I mean, MLB The Show.
Yeah.
That's the go-to, and then I've been playing NBA 2K.
Okay.
Okay. So you play the sports
Occasional.
ones.
Yeah, I mean, I occasionally play like the Call of Duty and all that stuff, but I stick to the sports ones just because it's more relatable to me.
Yeah.
I tried the Call of Duty, and boy, I get killed quick trying to figure out buttons and how to do it. I just don't play. I mean, I'm so old. I'm probably your parents' age, or probably older than your parents, to tell you the truth. But I can't figure it out. They look so fun, and I just can't figure it out.
I got MLB The Show last night. It was bedtime, and my son was like 3,000 XP away from a certain level, and he wanted me to play a game for him so that he could get to the packs. So I sure enough did, and he had Christian Yelich on his team. He's got a really good team. 3-homer game for Christian Yelich. I hadn't played a game in a year, and I just went up there and knocked out 3 homers. Robin Yount also went deep for the team.
Oh, I like Yount. Yeah, that's a you're going old school there, Bubba. Brewers,
you get these packs.
Yeah,
Paul knows these packs, and you just put together these like super teams, kind of. And
Mhm.
he had Ted Williams on his team. I don't think he appreciates Ted Williams enough.
I think it's a good game. It teaches the game real well. It lets
It
the young kids know all the old guys. So it's like it's big time.
And they have prospect cards too. So
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing your card on there here coming up.
that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see it too.
So I'm assuming you would draft yourself and put it on your
100%. But I'd never throw them because the minute someone like makes some sort of good contact on me, I'd have to take them out because I can't see that.
you go into the pen.
Well, Henry had DeGrom on his team, so I started DeGrom. I struck out 23.
Holy crap!
Yeah. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's I played it. I've played MLB, but the show, but I got killed.
Fun,
I got killed. I couldn't hit anything and do that. All right, so let's talk about some food now. You're a local kid here. Well, I got to ask this because you've done this too. Have you had any? What is it? The one out of In-N-Out. Have you had In-N-Out?
Yeah.
But are you a Whataburger guy over In-N-Out?
I'm a Whataburger over In-N-Out. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you weren't, we'd probably have to just.
Well, he's from Texas.
Kick you off the show and just act like this never happened.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah. He knows, even if he likes In-N-Out. In-N-Out's not a bad burger, but man, when you grow up here in the Metroplex, you got to be a Whataburger kid.
So, so you were in down east in Hickory last year. So what's the North Carolina? Is it Bojangles, I guess, but like a burger place? What's the burger place?
Cookout?
Yeah. That's for
Cookout.
Okay,
Cookout,
I don't know because there's like Chubbies or Checkers. I think they're the same thing depending on where you are in the country.
I mean, down east really didn't have a crazy amount of stuff to go eat.
But you get to go to some great cities in that those little leagues. You get to go to some fun cities.
For sure. Charleston's awesome, I'll tell you that.
Charleston's right. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's Charleston. Have you ever been?
I've been to Charleston. Yeah. I have.
It's great. We went to, Civil War buff, so I had to go to Fort Sumter first. And did just dine on the town and drank a little bit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I love those little southern. It's all the Carolinas are great. It's beautiful in the Carolinas. Okay, so we talked about your burger, but now we got to go to when it's fast food time. Look, you guys, you have dietitians. You try to eat the right food. You do what you are. But when you're in a pinch and you've got to go fast food, what's your go-to?
Oh man, that's
It sounds like there's a lot to choose from.
there is a lot to choose from because it's just it all just flowed into my head there. I mean, does Chipotle count?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, if I'm going like it's guaranteed to be there in most areas, so I'm going Chipotle. I'm gonna go rip that.
Now, are you getting a bowl or are you getting a burrito? What are you normally getting?
It honestly depends on the day. If I'm going to play golf, it's gonna be one of the quesadillas
Oh yeah, the
or two of
quesadilla.
them. I'll get 2 servings of it just so I'm like front nine, back nine. I'm good to go. And then, I mean, it really like it all depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Quesadilla is only available in
Yeah.
the app, John.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Well,
Yeah. Now, all right. So you live in Grapevine, so you know where the Freebirds is. I love Freebirds.
Yes.
I would take Freebirds over any of them.
I fully agree with that. I've said that
Yeah.
for so
we
many
got one in
years.
Richardson. It is good. Okay.
Good
Okay.
name.
So home cooked meal. Okay. What's your favorite type of food? What is your favorite type of food?
I'm either Italian or just regular American food, if that's the type of
Yeah.
food.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Steaks,
I'm
burgers.
guessing your last name.
Barbecue as well.
Okay.
I'm guessing your last name might lend
That kind
itself
of
to
gives it
the
away a
food.
little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to your home cooked meal, who cooks it and what's the meal? Is it your grandma, your mom, your girlfriend? Do you have a
Yeah.
girlfriend? I don't know. What is your home cooked meal and who cooks it?
Okay, we have two.
Okay.
There's like two go-tos. So my dad cooks his pasta with meat sauce. It's all homemade, like minus the pasta. He doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
But the meat sauce is, you can't beat it. Can't beat
Spectacular.
it at all. It's unbelievable. I don't even know how to describe it. It just hits the spot perfectly every single time.
Okay. All right.
And then my mom's from the Czech Republic, so
Okay.
we have dumplings and pork. It's
Ooh.
unbelievable. Those are my top two.
Okay. Yeah, this is important. Your mom is born in the Czech Republic, or
Pork.
really?
Okay.
Okay. So how did she get? How did your parents meet? I guess.
So my dad moved out there for I want to say 9 years.
Okay.
Lived out there, met her, and then they got married in 1999 out there. Lived there for about year and a half afterwards. Had my older sister out there, and then booked it back to Texas. Well, he's from
Okay.
Massachusetts, but he chose Texas instead of going back there.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess mom has an accent.
Yes, I don't notice it anymore, but yes, you can definitely tell if you just meet her.
Do you know any? Can you speak?
Czech? Is it Czech? Is that what
Yes,
it is?
it's Czech. I mean, I'm not that great at it anymore because it's.
Okay. Have you
I was really
yourself
good when I
been?
was
Have you
young.
been?
Have
Sorry.
you been to Czech?
Have you been to the Czech
Yes,
Republic?
I get
I went last off
grandparents there.
season.
Oh, you went
Okay.
last off season. So I
Yeah,
guess your grandparents are there.
yeah. My grandma and my uncle are out there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. All right.
That's a neat deal.
All right. Listen, we're going to get you out of here. And by the way, this will be out later today. So do you have, let me write this down. Are you on social media, Twitter or X, whatever?
I'm on social media. I'm on X and Instagram.
All right,
Okay. What's your handle?
I believe the Instagram is Paul_Bonzagni,
_ Bonzani. Okay.
and then X is the Paul Bonzagni.
Yeah,
I think
got
so.
it right here.
The
Because-
or the?
The like
Yeah.
Okay. The Paul Bonzani. Okay. I'll follow you.
I'll just follow them back. Yeah.
All right. I'll follow you, get a follow back. And then when I get this out, I'll certainly tag you in it, Paul. So
He's only
you can,
got 6
Awesome.
posts, so I don't know how active he is on
Yeah.
That's all right.
And then if we obviously if you get everything goes the way you're supposed to go, you'll be up here in Frisco. We'll run into you out there. We go out to spring training every year. Well, we were out there with you.
Yeah.
And so I missed you out there. I'm sure I probably watched you throw a bullpen, but I'm usually running all over the place while I'm out there trying to get video. But we'll certainly look for you now that we've had him on.
Yeah, now we got to get him his last question.
And the last question, though, this is the way we always end it. So the question is, what is something that nobody knows about Paul Bonzagni? Now, there's different questions. Let me ask you some answers that are pretty cool. Your general manager, VP and general manager, Chris Young, his answer to this was that he is a true crime buff. He likes to watch all the true crime documentary buffs. We had some other players who had some good ones. Blaine Krim had was it Krim that had the finger? No. He took batting practice naked as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Blaine Krim. Yeah. What is something that nobody knows about Paul Bonzagni?
Man, I'm gonna have to go with I'm a big fan of war, like the World War movies, anything World War related, because my dad put me onto it when I was young. So anything involving the World War, I end up watching it. I end up knowing it.
Band of Brothers. Did you watch that?
I watched that. Yes, I have seen that.
That is
my favorite.
Great.
All right, so now we're on to something. What's your favorite war movie?
I mean, Saving Private Ryan's my top one. That's hard to beat.
Yeah, the opening scene. I'll never forget that.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
seeing it in the theater. I don't even know if you were born yet, Paul, but seeing it in the theater was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, it's 18 minutes, I think, or something. They said there's a lot of World War II vets that were, of course, a lot of them were alive back then when it came out, and they were like, that's as close as it came to being accurate of how it was storming those beaches.
Okay. A Bridge Too Far. If you haven't seen A Bridge Too Far, you should watch A Bridge Too Far.
That's an older one, but that's
older. The cast is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to recommend that one to you. It's a pretty good one, but you need about 3 hours. All right. I'm just letting you know.
I got plenty of bus rides to deal with that. So we got that. I'll get it on the list.
There you go. All right.
Well, guys, that's Paul Bonzagni that joined us, Texas Rangers right-hand pitcher and the number 23 prospect, I believe, right now in the top 30. Paul, we appreciate you so much. We're going to get out of here now. For Jeff Wilson, Paul Bonzagni, I'm John Moore. Until next time, guys, we'll see you at the yard.
Thank you for having me.